Let's talk about HAL. I think we'll devote a separate episode for this company altogether because I think Shiv has some nice flowery language for this company when we talk about its past. But I want to talk about the rosy future.
Yeah.
Do you think that it is now finally its moment to shine, the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, because you have the LCA Tejas, a very good aircraft, close to 200, either in service or on order. You now have the Prachand. Not now, you've had it for a while, but now you have an order for
Yeah.
156, and you're saying it could also go up to
200,
200.
yeah.
And if you want to bring in space, you also have the what was known as GSLV Mark III, which is now named LVM Mark III, the launch vehicle Mark III, which took Chandrayaan 3 to the moon and which will take our future astronauts to space as part of the Gaganyaan mission. So all three pretty cool tech, very advanced stuff, very very good stuff, and everyone is happy.
Yeah.
ISRO is happy with the GSLV, the Air Force is happy with Tejas, and both Air Force and Army are happy with the Prachand. So do you think that if we forget the company's past, now is it the time for this company to really shine and be like, guys, we are owning it and we'll do everything that you need to know?
See, HAL, there is no doubt about one thing. HAL is a great company. There are no two ways about it. What HAL has achieved is great for a country like India. Now, the problem is HAL has spent most of its life until just a few years ago, a near total monopoly with the Indian military. Okay, it didn't care much about exports. That came much later, but it had a captive market that the rest of the global market was drooling for, and no one else to supply except HAL. So HAL kind of got fat on that, on a kind of lifestyle where it didn't need to work for orders and contracts, and that kind of stymied innovation and supplying a better product. There were quality control issues, and this led to a kind of adversarial relationship between customer and supplier, which is not necessarily always a good thing. And we've discussed this in a previous episode as well. The reason why I believe, and I agree with you entirely, Dev, that this is HAL's moment to shine is because now HAL is in a position where it doesn't have a choice but to compete
Yes.
for orders. It has to compete for orders. Those orders are not going to drop into its lap now. The Prachand order that's coming up is fabulous. The LCA order is fabulous. But beyond that, the horizon is looking very competitive. You've got the Tatas and Airbus already building the C295, which means private sector aerospace and aerostructure construction is becoming a deliverable, which means you have your first private sector aircraft manufacturing ecosystem, not nuts and bolts, not parts, not some subsystems, etc. Full aircraft are going to be built by Tata in Vadodara and Hyderabad, right? So HAL now is forced. It doesn't like that, but it's now forced into a situation where excellence is an imperative. It will have to become more professional. It will have to become more excellent. Its products will have to be better. It will have to innovate better. And there's no reason to believe they won't. HAL actually has many, many projects right now which are hugely promising. They've got the drone fighter teaming system.
Yes.
I've forgotten what it's called. Like it's called the Cat Thunder, I think, or the Cat Hunter, which was displayed at one of the
Yes.
Aero Indias. They've got a supersonic trainer, which looks very promising. They've got all kinds of mini UCAVs, unmanned combat air vehicles. They've got a highly expanded drone division that's building some very innovative new products in collaboration with the IITs and some startups, which is very good. And this is the kind of thing that HAL has never done before. But now they're under pressure, and this is good pressure. Nobody should say HAL deserves it, and finally they have competition. HAL is indispensable in India's military supply ecosystem. They have to be there, and they will get a lot of orders, based on this competition. But they need to demonstrate that they are capable of
Yes.
being in that competitive space. And there are no two bigger projects in front of them than the LCA, Mark 1A, the deliveries. They're going to be about 200 aircraft. That's huge. Can they get up to that production rate that the Air Force needs, to earn whatever comes next. Then you've got the Prachand for the army and the Air Force. Then you've got the light utility helicopter, which will come online shortly thereafter, and that's going to be even bigger, Dave, because those helicopters will replace up to 400 to 500 cheetahs and chetaks and all your, the smallest helicopters you see. Those are all going to be replaced by this Indian helicopter. So they've got their work cut out, and the competition from the private sector has basically made the luxury and the elbow room for delays, cost overruns, excuses, having a bad attitude, arrogance, etc. All that is out of the window now. Now it has to be really, really professional corporate culture. Deadlines have to be met, budgets have to be obeyed, and that kind of thing. And I think it's like 2 thumbs up for HAL. They will deliver. They will definitely meet that challenge.
Right. One final thought from you on this point. Don't you also think that it's time to for this company to rebrand, not like rename it, but I was looking at their website before coming in. It's ugly. The aspect ratios of the photos on display are all screwed up.
Yeah.
The logo is, frankly, very, very ugly. Not nice to look at. I'm not sure how the offices must be because, I've never been there. But the website essentially has that old Sarkari feel to it, right? Okay, no one's even bothered to look at it. I didn't even navigate it. I don't even know if the data on it is correct, updated, etc., etc. Don't you think it's time for this company to rebrand? You're sending rockets to space, building fighter jets, just like have a cutting edge website.
I hear you, Dave, and I agree with you that the way things look, these small things matter.
Yes.
There would be those who would argue that website ka kya karna hai, the conversations that happen offline. Nobody's coming to our website and seeing an aircraft and then ordering it. Everyone knows what we do. So website ka kya karna? But countries like the United States and Russia and Israel, etc., have proven over decades that marketing,
Yes.
image, public relations is hugely important in terms of your reputation and how you are perceived as a company. And you're right, HAL's website, is unspeakable. It's a Sarkari relic. It probably updated some decades ago. It's a terrible website. Let's not mince our words on that. I haven't visited their offices recently, but that's a different aspect. But even their stalls at air shows,
Yes.
etc., are nothing to write home about. They're quite underwhelming. But this is also because of this is also a cultural thing. Let's never forget that HAL is a PSU. It's a government-owned public sector undertaking under the Ministry of Defense. So Sarkarism runs in its blood. And harnessing and embracing things like social media and the internet and good photography and good video imagery, which we are now seeing the forces do in a
Yes.
really good way.
Exactly.
That hasn't infiltrated into HAL just yet. They're still suspicious of these new things, because remember that they've been comfortable for so long without these bells and whistles. They are suspicious about a world where these things have become a necessity. So it's going to take a while. Hopefully, in fits and starts, you will suddenly see a really flashy HAL brochure, where the aspect ratio of photographs is fine. I hear you on that. It's something that really, really annoys me. But especially because HAL has fabulous photographers. People like Dev Goswami, who in my opinion is one of the finest photographers in the country. HAL has access to people like that, and they still have terrible photography, out there. Gagan Singh, great people, and they don't use them enough. So yeah, I hear you. This is something that they need to devote some time to. The way people you perceive you, will have a footprint on how you take things forward.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm guessing that the opening up of the competition gate is perhaps going to play a huge role in sending them on that path.